So I wanted to finally do another mental health update. I wanted to do a summary of all that's going on. So this involves my withdrawal and some other things I'm going through. I mentioned in an update video I posted right before this one that I've got a few things going on, but this week especially, I was very tired. I felt very sleepy. That's mostly because, in addition to the withdrawal, I have my period. So, yes, I'm going to be talking about these things just straight up because I'm a woman and women have periods, and men, you also have your physical functions as well. Here's Smokey. He's co hosting today, I think. So men have their physical differences as women do, and this is just how God's made us. And our physical functions do affect us mentally and physically. So let's just be real about it. If you're uncomfortable with it, I invite you to just hear me out and just keep moving through the video. So I did have my period this week, which made me extra tired. It takes a lot out of me. I do have PMS and PMDD. And so the week before is very emotionally intense. It's very obvious that my period's coming. It's a different kind of intensity for my anxiety and depression than when I'm not PMSing. I'll have outbursts or just be extremely impatient more than usual, I guess. So yeah, I had that this week. So I was very tired. For the withdrawal, I do still have the nightmares. And I do have nausea, and because like I just went over, I have my period, I am not pregnant. So that helps me determine that the withdrawal symptom of nausea is due to the withdrawal. It feels a lot like morning sickness if you've ever been pregnant and experienced some morning sickness. And even like this morning, I got up and I had to eat because I felt like I was going to throw up. And I had to eat so I didn't throw up. And I had to like move slow and just, like eat as soon as possible. I usually go for something like a carb that'll help sit and satisfy me like quickly. So like this morning I had granola. Other mornings I'll grab some bread. I love bread. So yeah, I do just eat bread. Or just something quick and that'll settle your stomach real quick. And let's see. Yeah, like I mentioned, I keep having nightmares. My psychiatrist said that even though I am taking prazosin, which is a nightmare aid, helps relieve my nightmares, it does nothing for the nightmares from Cymbalta withdrawal. That's a completely different experience from the withdrawal than what the prazosin does by reducing my blood pressure to limit nightmares. So let's see, the nightmare withdrawals are really the biggest symptoms I have with the withdrawal right now. I am dizzy and I do have what are called brain zaps. When I mentioned in my other videos when my vision goes really fast, and then I'll feel dizzy from that. So I do have those here and there. If I do, it's in the evenings, and it's actually less this week, I've noticed. So hopefully that's one of my first signs that the withdrawal is going to be done soon. I hope that maybe this is the last week that I'll have these withdrawal symptoms. We'll see. I'm trying to think of what else for withdrawal. Those are the main things that come to mind right now. So like I mentioned, I have the withdrawal. I had my period. So those are two things of recent. So on the topic of my period and menstruation, having my bleeding and ovulation cycles, as every female does, even if you don't identify as female, if you have the body of a female, we do have these cycles. Men do have their own physical cycles, males. even if you don't identify it as a man, if your body is male, you do have these bodily cycles. So hormone fluctuations throughout the months. So, oh yes, while I'm on the topic of periods, I did want to say, and I will post another video more in detail about this because it's very important for me to share. And especially to my fellow Catholic community, or Christian, or just those who would find this surprising. I do take a birth control pill. I started birth control after my third baby. I stopped because the first two pills I tried just made me feel awful. And I was just like, okay, just screw this. And then we had our fourth baby, and after his birth last year, I started birth control again. And so last month, I'm going to go over that more in a separate video, but for the sake of this video, I started a new birth control pill a month ago. So this was my first period on that birth control, and it is so much better. I think I found a good fit finally, because with all things, it takes time to figure out what works best for you. Just like with psychiatric medicines, birth control takes long time to figure out what works best for you and your body. So I think I finally found a good fit. I had less cramping throughout the month because what I've tried before, I would cramp throughout the whole month, and it wasn't even just like, just like, oh, I feel a cramp. It's like, it feels like early labor cramping. So I would have that during ovulation and during my period. And the bleeding was still heavy. I was like, whatever. So this new pill, though, I did not have the cramping throughout the month. It's my first month, so I have to give it at least 3 months to make a solid judgment, but my observations from the first month, I did not have the cramping throughout the month. The ovulation did not really hurt. Because yes, women can feel when they're ovulating as well. Not all, but some women do, including me. So sometimes that involves cramping. I did not notice the cramping throughout the month, and my bleeding was lighter. And I was like, oh, so this is, it's a lot better, especially as a mother. Like, oh my goodness, it just saves so much, like energy and time. It's just another thing to take care of. So anyways, so it's working really well for me. So I've got that going on. I have the withdrawal. I had the period this week, and I've also started a new birth control pill that I think is finally a good fit for me. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other developments going on. I am still maintaining Zoloft, so that's the level 1 antidepressant medicine that I spent the past couple of months coming back onto, and I'm going to be sticking with that. And my next psychiatric appointment, my psychiatrist is going to determine, hopefully by then the withdrawal will be done, and I've been on the Zoloft long enough to determine, okay, and the CPAP machine also, for my sleep apnea, I will have all of those long enough to determine what was, what are the level of my conditions, because like with a sleep apnea, we had to do that first to determine how much of my behaviors were from sleep deprivation. And yeah, a lot. And just like my psychiatrist said, she said that she was pretty sure once I started using the CPAP and using it regularly, that my anxiety would pretty much mostly go away, if not all. And that is true. Like the whole, I would tell my husband, there were days I'm like, I feel like I could just like die from my anxiety. Everything just felt so overwhelming, and like my head's like constantly buzzing, and like, so I really think, by the time I found my psychiatrist, that I had reached a level of sleep deprivation, not just from parenthood, taking care of 4 babies, and everything else that comes with our life. Like we have pets. If you see my blog post, we have a garden, so I take care of the outside stuff. So I do a lot. But yes, my anxiety has significantly reduced since using the CPAP machine regularly. So, and yes, for those who noticed, I do have a very mild case of sleep apnea. But even then, that shouldn't stop anybody from getting your diagnosis and getting on a CPAP machine, because even though, yes, I have a very, very mild case of sleep apnea, I'm a couple months in now of using it in my CPAP machine regularly when I sleep. I feel so much better. The anxiety is reduced. I have the nightmares right now because of the withdrawal. So we're going to see if those go away eventually again. But yes, again, I'm just going to always highly encourage the CPAP, just like my psychiatrist highly encouraged me to get that diagnosis done and get on the CPAP. I'm going to challenge you, if you think you have sleep apnea, please just like get tested. Your life will be so much better. It's so much better to get that restorative sleep. So do yourself that favor. I'm going to advocate for that. So yes, along with my update, I'm using my CPAP machine regularly still, and that has helped me so much. I don't feel, so before using the CPAP machine and using it regularly, I was fighting to keep my eyes open throughout the days. I had my blood test done, like my blood counts are good, my blood levels are normal, everything's normal, no iron deficiency, no anemia, no thyroid issues, everything was healthy, or like at healthy levels. So, and this is where I want to say, divine intervention, like God does work, and God's hand is always at work in our lives. And it's just up to us to cooperate with him and be able just to not only trust in him solely, but also trust in ourselves to actually participate with him. So, that fiasco with a psychiatrist essentially ghosting me, and then that leading me to find my now psychiatrist, and she really pushing the CPAP. I think I did reach a level of sleep deprivation, just that was so extreme. It was coming out as like, my psychiatrist and I are still determining, or she's still waiting to diagnose me with bipolar, because it seemed like I was having bipolar behaviors, but a lot of that has reduced. And she was like, I need to figure out how much of this is sleep deprivation, your mood swings, and what you experience. I need to figure out how much of that is sleep deprivation before I can know if it's bipolar. So right now, and I have mentioned in another video, that I seem to hit a wall throughout my days. Sometimes I've noticed it's even as early as 2 o'clock, can be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The days I do my workouts, I'm finding that helps. But weeks like this week that I'm like still tired, here's Namari, who's come to say hi. She's my beautiful calico. So, yeah, so just seeing the cat got my brain to stop. Oh, stop. Wall. Yes, I'm talking about the wall. I'll hit the wall during the day. And yes, the exercise helps, but weeks like last week, like that, I'm just so tired that even the exercise doesn't help because of other physical things going on, which was my period. My psychiatrist was telling me that, and now we're able to get a better picture now that sleep deprivation is out of the picture, or getting out of the picture. And then my symptoms of the withdrawal will be out of the picture, hopefully by my next visit with her. But what she mentioned my last visit is that the wall I hit is cortisol levels, stress hormones. So I am very stressed out. So what we're going to do by increasing the Zoloft, we're going to be reducing my stress. Once we reduce my stress, my cortisol levels should even out, so I shouldn't hit that wall. Fascinating things. So like I said, a lot of good things going on, going through the withdrawal still, just giving myself the grace and learning where to apply my energy when I have my period, birth control, CPAP machine, exercise. My next step might be eating well, but we'll see. So here's my latest mental health update. Stay tuned for more videos.